All right, guys, how's it going? I'm sure you've seen, the various reports about Virgil van Dijk, the various headlines. Virgil van Dijk cast doubt on Liverpool future. Virgil van Dijk makes intriguing admission on Liverpool future. Virgil van Dijk says he's considering club and international future, etc., etc. Various, versions of that spun in different ways or whatever to make it sound more dramatic and sensational than it actually is. What he said was, I will think carefully this summer about what I want at club level and as an international player. Then we'll go for it again. But first, I want to recover after this difficult season. So he wants to think carefully this summer about what he wants at club level as well as international level. And yeah, you can make that sound, you can say it's a bit worrying, you know what I mean? Like, oh God, that doesn't sound like he's committed to Liverpool. What it sounds like to me is that he hasn't agreed a contract with Liverpool yet. That's what it sounds like to me, and isn't close to. But, he's at the age now where he has got to consider his future. He's got a new manager at Liverpool. Does he figure in his plans? Of course he does. But does he want to commit to Liverpool for longer, or does he want to go elsewhere and get, maybe one final, decent contract financially? I suspect that Edwards, or Hughes, overseen by Edwards, we know what Edwards, how he works, will probably offer him, reduced terms. As has been rumoured about Mo Salah, less lucrative, less wages, maybe like the Mo Salah situation, we were told less wages, less kickbacks from merchandise with Salah on and stuff like that, as said to have been offered to Mo. So with with Virgil, you'd expect a similar thing under Edwards, wouldn't you? I did think that maybe Edwards would come in this summer and just want to have continuity, like, normally it would be really hard with the negotiating, but I thought he might give a little bit this summer just to get everyone tied down for the manager, to go into the new season without these things hanging over him. And that's the last thing that we want going into this new season. We don't want speculation about Mo Salah dragging on all fucking season. Virgil van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Trent, you think, would be the easiest one, I think, to get tied down. Wouldn't be surprised if that came first. He might want to move to Real Madrid, but, there's a lot of things I want in life and I don't get. I'm not. Maybe that's unfair to say he wants to move to Real Madrid. That makes it sound like he's not committed to Liverpool. Maybe he would consider it and would be flattered and would like to go and play with his mate and all that. You know what I mean? But whether or not that is going to present itself, I do not know. So anyway, sticking with Virgil, I wouldn't be too concerned what he said. I think it was a mature response. I want to think about what I'm going to do. Liverpool will offer him something, and he has to say, right, do I want to stay here another year? Or should I say out my contract or whatever? Do you know what I mean? So yes, you can sit on one side and be a little bit worried by that statement, but the other side, I would answer it, I'm more like, yeah, I'm bothered because he hasn't signed a contract, but I'm also kind of like, well, it's the sensible thing to say, from his point of view. So I'm sure, like me, you want him to stay. Does anybody want him to go? I mean, does anyone think he's done? I hope he stays for a lot longer. Virgil van Dijk's my favourite Liverpool player. You know what I mean? I like him. I think he's great, total professional, built like a brick, shit house. He's massive, isn't he? You know what I mean? He's just a very, very good player, very hard to replace. But I've got to be honest, I'm a bit disappointed that these contract situations haven't been resolved yet. I was asked on the stream yesterday, can we really blame Edwards and co? No, not really, because they came in, the contracts were already run down, but you would have thought it would have been a priority. And from supporting Liverpool all my life, and in the entire time that I've run the KopTalk website, it has always been, up until recent years, a situation where if a player was never allowed to let his contract run down into 2 years, because you're going to think of like McManaman and stuff like that, just shouldn't, it should not happen. And Liverpool have adapted this attitude, it's never run contract down, it's just very, very strange. I don't know. So I don't think we can criticise Edwards and Hughes, but what else are they fucking doing? Are they more focused on buying other football clubs at the moment? Yeah, people will say, Dunk, there's been an international tournament. Yeah, but it hasn't been running all year, guys. Do you know what I'm saying? So, no, let's get this sorted. We need these players tying down. And our manager needs to go into the season, head coach, I know, needs to go into the season without distractions. Because I'm telling you, if Mo Salah, if his situation isn't resolved one way or the other, we're just all we're going to get around October, November time is constant speculation, and it'll do everyone's nutting. I don't know what you think. Are you worried about Virgil van Dijk's words, or are you just thinking, yeah, that's what he probably had to say? Let me know, guys. If you appreciate the video, please thumbs up the video. I'll give you a shout out in my next morning briefing. Did I say that right? Give me a thumbs up. If you want to buy me a beer or a coffee, hit the super thanks. I'll give you a shout out in my next briefing. But more importantly, leave me a comment about this, about Virgil van Dijk and what you think. All right. I would just rather have these things wrapped up as soon as possible. Virgil is a very important member of that team.